Hi, hello, Wiffle Nation. I'm Carl Coffey, and this is Around the World of Wiffle, Episode 6. Let's meet that panel. From the AWAA, it's Michael Van Nostrand. How are you, Michael?
Not too bad. Not too bad, Carl.
Thank you for hosting Unscripted. That was released today. Fun show, man. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. I'll be taking over this one here soon enough, Carl.
All right. You talked to this guy on that show. Ridley Park ace Tommy Loftus. Nice shirt. How are you?
Thanks. I'm chilling. How are you?
Not bad. We did a lot of ad drops in this show. We've lost people. We've gained people. We lost a guy from Huntington. We gained a guy from Huntington. We lost Anthony, taking his place, Tom Gannon from Greater Auburn and Palisades. Hey, Tom.
And
AWAA.
And
sure. You're one of those guys, one of those free agents.
Yeah, we love those.
So, Matt Peisert, he was very excited to take over JJ's spot, and now he pulled the JJ last second. He's gone. Apparently, some bullshit about Little League. Patrick Rail, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Carl. Thanks for having me.
Huntington
I think
Wiffle.
he'd be a little old for Little League.
Yeah, well, listen. Patrick Rail got this show sheet like 5 seconds ago. So, Michael, you say you didn't prep, and probably neither has Patrick. So, you guys are the underdogs. So we do 4.
Coming out swinging.
Yeah, I mean we do 4 questions, guys, and you all take turns going first, second, third, or fourth. There's a rotation. 2 lowest scores are eliminated after the 4 questions, and then the top 2 guys have a mystery question. I always say I'm going to do negative points, and I always forget. It's tough. I mean, I'm a positive person, guys. I'm always happy. Look, I drink out of a pink container. What kind of negative person drinks out of a pink water jug, right?
You want negative points, I can get you some.
So, you can get 3, 2, 1, or -1, -2, -3. Only Kevin Sickles got -3, I believe. But anyways, try to go 30 to 45 seconds. I'm not going to keep a timer. I used to, not anymore. But if you're obviously going way too long, man, I'll shun you. I'll give you negative points, Tommy. I will. So, I mean, you know what? You guys ready to go? Are you ready to start?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys all look good, man. You all have very nice hairlines. Anyways, here we go.
They're
First
going
question.
just like yours, Carl.
Yeah, no. Patrick Rail, right off the bat, man. You're leading off. Here we go. Social media is important. Instagram has become big in the wiffle ball world. Obviously, we know Twitter and Facebook is. But people are self-proclaimed social media king. So I'm going to give some leagues. You can pick one or you can pick another one. Patrick, who is the social media king in the wiffle world? Jaw, Palisades, Skibby, or someone else? Go.
I really like MWL. It seems like they really try to get all their teams involved on Twitter, talking back and forth to each other. I've seen them more than I've seen other people, but I also low-key like the kind of back and forth between Palisades and Josh Smith. That's always my favorite.
Are you saying MWL as in McQuan or MLW as in the league in Michigan?
McQuan.
McQuan out of nowhere, so you're picking an other. You know what? Mike Boyles does a great thing there, so I respect that. Palisades versus Josh Smith, that's a good rivalry. It is, so not bad. All right. Tom Gannon, what you got?
All right, so I don't have Instagram, but it seems like on YouTube, MLW is getting the most viewers, so you got to at least hand that to them. And they're kind of like the youngest guys, so it seems like they know what they're doing. But Palisades, to me, has the best quality videos. And then the Golden Stick Wiffle Ball League seems to have just tons of videos on the internet. If you Google Wiffle Ball, a lot of their stuff comes up. And I feel like Wiffle Boy kind of falls into that category as well.
Golden Stick. That's a good one. I didn't remember that one. All right, Tommy Loftus. Who you got?
I got Mid-Atlantic Wiffle.
Oh, other.
I think from everything that I've seen, like when I played with AWAA in their tournament, I had like a scouting report, my highlight video. Like I didn't know that was coming, and I see that now that my team's done like 2 or 3 of those. I've seen a lot of that happening, and they do a lot of highlights, and I think they put out some quality stuff. So I'd go with them.
You know what? They inspired me to up the game for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You probably have seen like NCAA tournament been updating every single day for the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of Mid-Atlantic, man. They made me up my game. Good answer, man. All right, Mike. Clean up, go.
All right. So initially when I heard this question, I immediately wanted to go to MLW because you just understand how much viewership they get on YouTube, and they probably have the most followers on Twitter and Instagram. But I'm a big backer of quality over quantity. And a part of social media is getting the draw of other leagues coming, and that goes to Palisades. Palisades gets people from all other leagues. They have something big going down there. I believe they've done stuff with the Yankees before. They're the best of the best when it comes to social media. Simple.
All right. Do you have any respect, Michael, for Instagram, or do you think it doesn't really matter in the football world?
I mean, I have some respect for Instagram, but in the wiffle ball world, I think it's not as important as, well, I'm a believer in here quality over quantity. So you can have some viewership, but MLW, their viewership needs to be more gimmicky and less quality based.
Patrick, what's most important? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram?
I think YouTube. I spend a lot of time in my downtime at work watching YouTube videos. So that's going to get me more drawn in than anything else when I'm typing in wiffle ball on YouTube.
Thank you.
Congrats. You like the Kardashians.
Whoa. All right.
Oh, I never said that.
It's all about viewership, right?
All right, listen, guys. The NAA tournament regional, we're having one regional this year. We used to have 4, Tommy. Then we had 2, and now we have 1. 8 teams vying for 4 spots. Here's your teams. Patrick, Tom, you know these teams. GBL, PWL, Gall, Indy, Southside, McQuan, Huntington, Brew City, and Bloomsburg. All right. Well, here's the question, Tom. You can lead it off. I don't care who's going to qualify. I want to know if any of these qualifiers can make some noise at nationals. Can any of them contend for a national title, Tom Gannon?
Well, I mean, coming from Gall, I think we have a pretty decent shot. Jay Brucho's only getting better, and I'm kind of hopping into the rotation, so I think we'll have a good shot if we're on that day and we only give up a couple runs the whole tournament. That could happen with a lot of teams. I feel like, GBL could do it, or, Huntington could do it. It all just comes down to whoever's on that day.
Dude, how much do you love Mike Jenkins for that pool draft? You guys seem to have a pretty good draw.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. He put some time into trying to figure out who we want and who we don't want.
You avoided GBL and PWL, 2 original 8 teams. That's big. It's big.
Yeah.
But you hear what he said, Patrick? He said, I want Huntington. But we'll talk about that later. All right, Tommy Loftus. Any of these teams contend for a national title?
I really don't know about these teams, so I no disrespect intended, but I guess I'd say Huntington.
Wow.
I don't know.
Huntington.
I mean, I haven't played against any of these teams, so I don't know too much about them, but I mean, that's just.
We just listened to this unscripted podcast where people were bashed for not doing any of their homework, and you say Huntington, you just ignore. Wow, okay, that's fine.
Bad answer there, but
no, it's fine.
Michael,
any of these 8 teams, there's some good teams here. Any of them contend for a title? Well, and when I say contend, I'm saying like top 3, top 4.
So there are some intriguing teams there. None of them are going to contend for a title, but there are teams that could possibly make noise, and that one team I point to there is Griffle Ball. What they've always lacked as a team is pitchers, and they're getting some coming in this year with Youngman and Detmar. I believe they can make a little noise, but they aren't enough to make a run at the title, because you've seen consistently the teams that win the title have a starting pitcher with a sub-1 ERA and depth behind them.
Yeah, isn't that Youngman and Detmar? They have those kind of stats, right?
They don't have a sub-1 ERA. I think the one had a 4 last year. Carl, come on, check your stats.
I used to say that you go as far as your number 2, but now I say you go as far as your number 3. And they have a 3-headed monster, don't you think, with Lidster, Detmar, and Youngman?
Carl, once you check the stats and realize Youngman's ERA was 4, you'll give me an extra point.
I mean,
that's
okay.
a good.
All right, Patrick.
Because I didn't even prep for that, and I know that.
I mean, Patrick, listen. Tommy Loftus picked your league to contend. I mean, I gave him negative points, so you might find that disrespectful, but I can't give him positive points for picking Huntington to make a run at a national title. But what do you have to say about that?
I mean, I'd want Huntington in my pool in any competition, because we're going to get a call against us and we'll lose our minds and not be able to finish the game. So, I do understand making that pick, and putting them in your pool, I don't see it as disrespect. I think we're still, trying to figure out where we're going. I haven't really looked into stats as much as other guys, but I was kind of on the Griffle Ball post that I could see them making a lot of noise in nationals, just because of adding Jockman and all of them. So I think that's a team that could come out of regionals pretty well.
I like that answer, Pat. And listen, what do you have to say about Gall wanting to play Huntington in?
Well, I said it. I think I would want to play them. You get them in full play. You might be able to ruin their day fast. I mean, the first regional, it was the first game that we had a bad call that we kind of unraveled from. So I'd want to play Huntington first.
I mean, Huntington eliminated Gall last year. I don't know if you remember. They looked past you and they didn't pitch their ace, and Jeremy Ray knocked them out. But
and then we fell apart in the final game.
Oh,
really far.
Yeah, there it is.
Halftime, Michael. Guys, listen. Here's the score update. Michael has 5. He's in the lead. Patrick and Tom have 3. And Tommy, who's he's had days to prep. He's in last with 2.
I didn't prep. I'm like
he's on painkillers and stuff. He just had surgery.
Yeah.
There's still 2 more questions. There's still 2 more questions, and Tommy's gonna lead off, man. Tommy with his Morency maroon shirt. Tommy, who's going to join the scorekeeping team at the tournament. Here we go, Tommy. You ready?
Yep.
So trading in wiffle ball, it happens. You've seen it in any league. But I've never seen so many leagues have trades so early in the season. Trades happen late in the season when teams are either buying or selling. Mm-hmm. So here's the question. Speaking of buying or selling, we'll steal this from PTI. Do you buy or sell on wiffle trades, and how should they be regulated? What I mean is, should the commissioner decide? Should captains vote? Or should trade just go through? If it's decided between 2 teams, should they be like, all right, 2 teams agree on this? It happens. Tommy, it's your world. Talk to me.
I absolutely buy in on wiffle trades because trading just makes everything more competitive. I mean, people can grow throughout the season and have a great season, or people can fall apart and not be what they were supposed to be. And in my league, that only happened like twice, but it turned out it was a pretty bad trade, but I like that whole idea of it. I think it should be regulated by the captains of the league and like a majority vote, because there might be a team that doesn't really care about the record. They're kind of tanking, whatever, like don't care about the season, and they just try and trade away a good player, or another team tries to get that good player.
Right.
And the captain just be like, give them nothing for it in return.
And more times than not, the commissioner is usually a player on a team, so he might have an agenda. So I agree.
Yeah.
Michael, you're up next.
So I'm all in on the wiffle trades with the caveat that they can't be ridiculous. They can't be gimmicky. You can't be trading a 12-pack. I mean, come on.
Did you see
there
what
aren't future draft?
Did you see what I tagged you on?
Involved.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
So there aren't future draft picks involved. There aren't cash considerations because there's no cash ever given over. So I think trades, yes, they can be beneficial for both sides, but it should be regulated by all captains not involved in the trade.
All right, listen, you said some things, and I think that you can add beer or balls or bats, but I think it has to have a player involved as well. We just saw that horrible trade. A player was traded for a whole bunch of stuff, not a player. But in WSCM we had to have at least a player involved in both sides. But it could be like a player for a player and a bunch of balls or a bunch of beer. So like a good player and a bad player and 24 beers. So are you saying you don't want anything except for player, Michael?
Yeah, I'm more in for the player for player because what's the good and bad player? Usually it's 2 guys that want to pull the trade off. And so, yes, you can try your gimmicky trades. You want to include 4 beers, a hand job, and 7 wiffle balls. But in the end, I think it should come down to a captain's vote of all the captains that are not involved in the trade. Because if you just say a captain's vote, well, you got 2 captains that are automatically going to say yes, which tips the scales.
No, good point. Listen, what about cash? I've seen Palisades have, those people in New York City, they have money. I've seen people just trade for cash. Are you against that too?
Well, those guys pay $150 a pop just to get into the league, and those guys down in the city, man, they make ridiculous amounts because it costs a ridiculous amount to live. So if you can go in there and make it rain, I guess make it rain if you got a salary cap, right?
Right on. Patrick, what do you got? What do you guys say about trades? I don't think I've ever seen a trade in Huntington.
I am selling on trades. I don't like them. I don't want them. I don't want them near me. I think that wiffle ball is such a great sport that we're just trying to make it into something bigger than what it is. When it's supposed to be a backyard game, it's supposed to be with friends, and it's just taken this turn on social media and everything else. And then, as a paranoid commissioner that I am, somebody's always going to try to gain leverage, and no matter how you try to regulate trades. And, if you do a captain's vote, then, you're going to have captains from the same division trying to work it out where it's going to benefit their team. And, it's just not worth the headache. I'm selling. I'm out.
Thank you. We got to sell. Well said. Listen, good point. Yeah. Have you ever seen a trade in Huntington, Patrick, ever? In history?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Some leagues are just against it. Some leagues just don't have it. You're stuck with the guys for the whole season. All right, Gannon, the newcomer. You've come on strong on this network lately. You've replaced Josh Smith on the last 2 shows. You hosted Wiffle Now. No one knows exactly what your league is. You play in like 7 leagues, but do you like trades?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely buying on trades. I think trades are great. I think it kind of adds a dimension to the game because you can have a manager or whatever that can make good trades or bad trades. But I do like the idea of having some sort of regulation. I think that the rest of the captains have to have like a super majority to overturn a trade, though, because I think if both teams agree on a deal, why not make it happen?
What's a super majority? What's a super majority?
So that's like you have to have at least 2/3 of them
2/3
disagree. Like, if there's some ridiculous trade, you should be able to get rid of it. If the league doesn't think has a problem with it, obviously. But I kind of like adding like wiffle balls or beers or whatever to the trade. I think that's just kind of funny. But yeah, no, I'm definitely buying in trades. And then one of the leagues I play in has a redraft every year where you keep one guy and everyone else is redrafting. So the draft picks in those trades actually kind of work, and they're kind of fair.
A redraft. Listen, every trade I've ever done, it's basically been the best players on the worst teams. They have no chance of making the playoffs. Put them on a good team. Let's just make this happen at any cost. And it always has worked out.
Yeah, but that ruins the integrity of the team that made it.
No, I mean, I don't agree with you, but that's fine.
Get the fuck out.
Sometimes you need to add a piece. I think you should be able to do it. You can do it in pro sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, if you're going to add a piece for salary cap considerations, a future second-round overseas draft pick, luxury tax right, and a mid-level exception, I mean, come on.
I don't know. A first-round pick in our draft is usually pretty good. But that's because you only get one guy that you keep from every team, and everyone else just automatically gets put in the draft. I've been drafted every year for the last 3 years.
As I was saying, there's 3 guys tied for second place, Michael, but you're in first place and you're leading off here. This is my favorite question. You ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
All right, you have 1 weekend a year to play wiffle. 1. There's 52 weeks in a year. You have 1 weekend. There's a lot of good weekend events, man. There's a lot of good weekend events. What are you playing in? You could choose anything. Anything you want, Michael, go.
Well, if I'm choosing anything, I'm going to choose from the events that actually go on. The events that actually go on that are interesting to me, of course, is NWLA, but the problem is we kind of go to Morenci, and there's really not that much in Morenci, Carl, no offense. The one that really sticks out to me is Fast Plastic down in Texas. You go down to Frisco, Texas. You can kind of make a weekend of it. It's near Dallas. I don't know, half the thing you love about these wiffle trips is the trip part of it. You get to go to new places, go into a place like Texas with some nearby things that have some nearby attractions, get to play some wiffle ball, have some cash on the line. That's the weekend I'd choose.
No, you're right. It's 10,000 this year. You're in a metropolis. I get it. I get it. We didn't want...
I think, a fun fact, Carl, I think I'm getting married on that day.
Oh, wow. Columbus weekend?
That's the one.
If you need a best man, I'm really good at speeches. But listen. No, you're picking Fast Plastic, so I mean... I understand that, but I have to ask you this question. Have you even played in a Fast Plastic tournament ever?
No, Carl, I didn't because I have a job.
So you're picking a tournament that you've never even played in.
I've only played in one on this scene, Carl. Yes, I'm picking a tournament that I have never played in.
So I gave you a point, and now I'm taking away a point. But that's all right. You're still
take away 2.
No, you're fine.
I want a negative score.
All right, Patrick Rail. 1 weekend. It could be anything. I mean, you could just say, you know what, I love Huntington. I'm going to pick a weekend in Huntington. That's what I want to do. It doesn't have to be a tournament. It could be just a league weekend. I don't care. It's your world. Go.
I'm picking London.
London,
I think
yes.
London is such a magical place to go. You're in the middle of a soybean, farm. The random amount of people that are there, all types. You have the athletic people. You have a guy carrying a wiffle ball bat in a stroller. You can't beat the sights and sounds of London. You really can't. So I'm going to London.
I love it.
Are we talking about London, Ohio?
Yes.
London, Ohio, yes.
Carl, did you just talk about how you shit on their place?
No, but listen, London, Ohio is how I became to love wiffle ball. 2004, I played in the tournament, and a lot of the rules in WSCM are London based. And then when I formed the NAA tournament, a lot of those rules were based out of London. And why did we play in Ohio for 5 years, Michael?
Because of London.
Because of London. We gave the first, crystal vase to Brian Wheeler. London is where it all came from. Dude, Patrick, great answer. That's just, I have so much love for London. And these people don't understand underhand slow pitch wiffle ball. It is an underrated style of play. But anyways, yeah, read the WSCM rules and you'll see a lot of London, tie-ins there. Great job, Patrick. You're in the running now. Wow. This is getting close. Tom Gannon, 1 weekend. You play in so many leagues. You probably play, at least 35 weekends of wiffle ball a year. I'm giving you 1 weekend. What are you picking?
I think if I had to pick, I'd probably go with Columbus Day weekend because I could go to Fast Plastic. But there's also the Ed Walsh tournament Columbus Day weekend. I played in that for the first time this year. That's a lot of fun. It's golden stick style basically, except it's just the yellow bats and a brand new ball. That's a lot of fun for a good cause. And then maybe I might even be able to go to Palisades that weekend if my team is in the playoffs in this scenario.
Wow, look at that. That's a creative answer. He's picking 1 weekend and 3 different events. You got to respect that, right?
They think he'd mention a weekend where he's trying to break a record here.
Yeah, really. He loves records. All right, Tommy. What do you got, man? Come on. You could do this.
Originally, I was thinking Fast Plastic, but after hearing your rebuttal to Mike, I was thinking probably just the NWLA tournament because one, that being like one of the only 2 tournaments I've played in. 2, everybody's there just to be like, you're not winning a prize. You come away with trophies and stuff, but like you're not really. It's not for money. It's not like beneficial to people. It's kind of just the passion of the game. I think that's like being around people like that have like that type of thing like driving them and playing for it. I think that's pretty cool. I enjoyed it last time. I enjoyed being around people like that, and it's pretty fun. So I would have to go with that.
Boom. Nice, Tommy. All right, that's 4 questions. It goes pretty fast, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what happened? It's over. All right. So here's the standings. So it's really close. The points are 8, 8, 7, and 6. Can you believe that, Tommy? It's that close.
It's all for me, isn't it?
So let's do eliminations. And last place with 6 points is Tom Gannon. Tom, you know what? Thanks for filling in. We appreciate it. You were close. But any last words?
Got a tough draw. Had some good competitors. And,
All right. See you.
Did what I could do.
Oh, he's gone. All right. So we got 8, 8, and 7. That was close. And I can't believe it. But Pat, you got 7. No, you did really well. Seriously, you deserve to be in the finals. You do. But, I should have gave you more points for the London answer, but I feel like that would just be unfair because, these guys probably never even heard of London. But any last words?
Don't say I haven't heard of London. Stop it. I just said London, Ohio, so I knew it, Carl.
Hey, this is my last words, not yours.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let him talk, Michael.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Jeez. All right. I love you. See you. All right. So against all odds, you guys don't deserve to be in the finals, but somehow you did. You're the only 2 guys who had negative points, and you're still here, You
know why, Carl? Because you hate.
I don't hate. It's fair. I gave you guys negative points, and you're still here. I'm not going to go through some of your answers, but, the only reason you guys are here is because those guys had little time to prep, But
I didn't prep.
No one had time to prep for this question because it's a mystery question. And here's the thing.
Baby.
You guys are tied. So I don't know how I'm going to decide who goes first. So I mean, listen.
Who's cuter?
Well, I'm not gonna decide based on that. Listen, I don't know. Tommy had a better NWA tournament, so I'm gonna let him choose first or second. What's up, Tommy? First or second?
I'll go second. I'll let Mike set the bar.
That's a bold. Most people pick first, so that's a good. He's got.
You said most people picked second last time, Carl.
Maybe hold spot.
Such confidence. Michael, here's the mystery question. Leagues that don't have walks, is that crazy or is it smart? Go.
Leagues that don't have walks, as in you can't walk the batter?
No, they
that's
don't have,
crazy.
Yeah, they don't have walks, yeah. Crazy. Why
That's absolutely crazy. That just caters to mediocre, terrible, downright awful pitching. If you don't have to walk a batter, you can sit there throwing junk the whole time until something actually happens. It's as simple as that. You don't have to walk the batter. Then you can just sit there and throw your junk. You don't have to ever find the zone, and that's when the hitter gets the advantage, when they're up in a 3-0 in a count, and the pitcher needs to find a zone, so they got to groove one in there. Bases loaded, 3-0 count, you got to find one or the game could be over. In the end, if you don't have to walk them, I could just sit there and throw junk to you the whole time, and eventually I'm going to find the zone with something. So that's an absolutely crazy idea.
Tommy.
All right. So the benefits that I see from that is really showcasing the skill of the hitter. I mean, if you could take it to the extreme when you say no walks, you can say, like, this pitcher has thrown 15 pitches in the at-bat, and it's 15 ball, not one was hittable. But at the same time, you can say you have a pitcher who has this pitch, he throws real hard and moves a lot, but he can't find the zone. So maybe he's just trying to hit the zone with that. It's an important game. It's a close game. It's a good batter up. I mean, you throw your best pitch, maybe you can't find the zone, but if you find it 3 times out of the infinite amount that you're given, I mean, that has to get pitched.
So what are you saying? Are leagues like Leroy, Orable, and Potomac, are they smart for not having walks?
If it's convenient for them, yeah. If they want to cater their hitters towards that, if they think they have better hitters in that league than pitchers, then I can completely understand why they would do that. But
all right,
that's the best I can give. I agree with Mike, but that's the best I can give on the other side.
Oh,
that's a bad question.
That's a good question. There's leagues that don't have walks, and they're very.
That's pretty weird. That's really weird.
No, ask Leroy, ask Orable, ask Potomac, ask London. They don't have walks, man. It's weird. I know. It happens.
Is it usually not that bad?
I mean, it's normal things. They just hate walks. That's why a lot of these leagues don't play in the NCAA tournament, because they have walks. But here's the final standings. Tommy, you only got 1 point there, and Michael had 3. So Tommy, any last words?
I mean,
I should
have went first.
Dude, yes. Everyone just chooses to go first in the finals because, yeah, you did.
That was a pretty question, though.
No, I respect you for going the opposite opinion, but that's why. I did
better than last time.
You probably weren't on the debate team in high school. See you, Michael. Congratulations. Somehow you only won because you didn't have great competition. You know that, right?
Carl, I mean, I've been to the finals twice, so that means something.
I mean, listen, that was a good last question. I don't know how you say it was bad.
Because that's just bullshit. You can't throw a strike. I mean, shit, I would be a good pitcher in that league if I could sit there and throw 40 pitches to one batter. Just let me come in and close against one batter, though.
So I'm going to give you 30 seconds of FaceTime. You could talk about anything. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready here, Carl.
All right, go, man.
All right, so I hope everyone got a chance to listen to Unscripted. It's killer, but we're going to sit here and talk for a second, Carl, about Twitter beefs. Don't be getting into a Twitter beef if you can't handle what the person comes back with. We can keep this all fun and games on Twitter, on Facebook. When you start personally attacking people, you lost the beef. If you become a DJ and start throwing block parties and start blocking people on social media, you lost the beef. It's simple as that. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it in the name of the game. Let's not make it personal, because in the end, if it becomes personal with yourself, you lost.
Oh. So is there any truth that you're going to take over as host on this show in 2 months?
Yeah, hopefully in 2 months, Carl will be in reverse position. I'll be asking you for 30 seconds FaceTime, and you'll be giving me a nice hot take that Carl Coffey tries to stay away from.
I don't want to be a guest, but I might do it for one show just because you want it. But we'll see what happens in July. I want to do a show. I want to do an NCAA tournament show like a week before the tournament. All NCAA tournament questions. Do you think that'd be fun?
Yeah, all those questions will be created by me, so it'll be real fun.
We'll talk about that.
Question number 1, which song in karaoke will you pick?
Whole New World. I'm Carl Coffey. Thank you, Michael, Patrick, Tommy, and Tom. And we'll talk to you in 2 months for episode 7. See ya!
See ya.